There's a tale whispered only in shadows that pass down through generations like a curse. About the ones who come knocking after midnight, the ones who look like children until you see their eyes. They appear at door in the dead of night, their childlike voices slithering under your skin, and they always ask the same question. They knock at the middle of a night when the world is shrouded in silence. Just two figures, standing motionless, just waiting. They look like normal kids until you see their eyes. Their eyes betray something far more sinister. Not just dark black, entirely black. They seem normal. Pale faces, vintage clothes. And what happens next depends on one choice. Those who let them in are never the same. They changed forever, plagued by nightmares that claw at the edges of sanity. Some describe vivid nightmares and unusual dreams that bleed into reality, haunting them until sleep becomes impossible. Some wake up screaming, claiming they feel something beneath their bed scratching, digging. Others report waking to find strange symbols carved into their walls or floors, patterns no human hand could have made. Some vanish entirely, others change. Their memories blur, faces of loved ones fade into obscurity. They hear whispers echo in empty rooms calling their names, leaving goosebumps in their wake. Reality distorts. Sleep becomes a battleground. Something feels unbearably wrong about these visits. Two children's at midnight, knocking. These sinister visits are not confined to one place or time. Sightings span the globe from rural farms to city apartments, even inside secure military housing. Reports flood in worldwide. Different locations, but same story. The terrifying similarity of each story is cruel evidence something is amiss. These reports has been spanning for decades, each one a mirror of the last. From late-night radio shows to hidden corners of the internet, and occasionally in redacted police files. The rule is one and simple. They cannot pass your threshold unless you invite them in. It's the only thing that holding them back. This is the fragile barrier between your world and theirs. But once invited, that barrier shatters forever. Allowing them entry can have devastating consequences. Those who open the door lose themselves and never be the same. The spirit binds like demons. Once attached, it's like ancient spirits, but they're bound only by an invitation. But once invited, they never leave alone. Those who refuse to open the door find these children never leave willingly. When denied, they wait patiently, hovering at the edge of your vision, listening for your resolve to weaken. But those who denied them entry still suffer. Survivors often describe weeks of insomnia. Some claim the children never left, visiting in dreams, lurking in mirrors, and the whispers never stop. Their presence a constant reminder of the terror that awaits. Some victims report weeks of sleepless nights, plagued by nightmares and unexplained noises. Victims speak of weeks-long sleepless nights, and that the encounter still haunts them, and they never sleep. Stories poured in over the years, calls to emergency lines from terrified people who describe encounters that defy logic and grip the soul with icy fingers. A woman in Ohio once let two children inside during a snowstorm. She recalls a blurring haze swallowing her consciousness, memories slipping away into darkness, her nose bleeding inexplicably, and the last thing she remembered was seeing them sitting silently before a whispered voice cut through. Our parents have arrived. The lights plunged into darkness. Upon waking, The children vanished, but the nightmare never ended. She can't sleep through a night without hearing the sound of digging coming from under the bed, the sound of scratches beneath the floor, and every time she closes her eyes, she hears unexplained noises, and when she musters the courage to check, she finds nothing. But the feeling lingers, watching, waiting. Victims routinely describe intense nightmares, the sound of digging under the bed, cold waves passing through their bodies, an inescapable fear. For some, the scratching and whispering invades waking hours, blurring the line between reality and nightmare. Despite their childlike voices and requests, witnesses swear the presence feels malevolent, something not of this world, and almost all of them report a recurring nightmare of something clawing under bed. Some cruel evidences show a darker and more unsettling theory, one rooted in cold, calculated government experiment. These documents, rumored to be government experiments, hidden in decommissioned military labs beneath deserts and Arctic ice. These escaped prototypes are a psychic surveillance tools of a classified scientific research which gone horribly wrong. These files, now partially declassified but heavily redacted, hint at a covert program known only as Project NIGHTLIGHT. According to fragmented documents and uneasy testimonies from former insiders, Project NIGHTLIGHT aimed to develop human subjects capable of psychic surveillance entities that could see into minds, manipulate fears, and traverse mental boundaries no ordinary human could. These early experiments involved children's, chosen for their malleable neural pathways and purported psychic potential. These children were subjected to invasive procedures, electromagnetic stimulation, chemical injections, sensory deprivation, and intense psychological conditioning designed to awaken latent extrasensory abilities. But something went catastrophically wrong. Several subjects began exhibiting abnormal behaviors, eyes drifting into a glossy, unnatural blackness as their minds fractured, and an insatiable drive to cross thresholds, physical and metaphysical. Attempts to contain these subjects failed as they escaped, slipping into the shadows of society. These lost test subjects, gone beyond humanity, trapped between experimental science and something unnameable. After a mysterious lab breach that possibly triggered by the children's collective psychic link, the facility was reportedly evacuated and sealed underground. Whispers of secret programs aimed at creating psychic weapons and artificial intelligence housed within human-like forms. Subjects were said to develop blackened sclera due to optic nerve mutations linked to exposure to unknown radiological elements. In one of the strangest cases ever uncovered, a VHS tape was found in an abandoned home in Illinois. On the label, called Zachary, the footage shows a young boy recording a video diary. He claims 2 children watch him through the window. Whispering, he invited them in, but he has no memory of it. Then the camera swings, revealing shadowy figures in the hall. His voice drops to a terrified whisper. After that, screen goes black, and the boy was never found. Some ancient documents suggest the children were a supernatural being and sent to take the soul for invitation to grant entities. These ancient texts hint these children are vessels, supernatural entities using stolen flesh to claim souls through invitation. Wherever they visit, An oil-like black substance seeps from walls and lights, vanishing before dawn. Some theorize to be a physical manifestation of their otherworldly essence. Others speak of shadows that stretch beyond what's natural. Some encounters are marked by strange phenomena. The same signs reappear. Unexplained, but consistent. Witnesses report a dark, oily liquid after the encounter of the children's that begins to ooze from walls, windowsills, and even light fixtures. Once the children arrived, an unsettling pattern emerges. Electrical disturbances ripple through the environment. Lights flicker and wane, delicate electronics malfunctioning, and clocks resetting to 3 o'clock a.m. It is as though the very fabric of nature recoils from the essence these children embody. An invisible boundary is drawn, a silent repudiation etched into the world around them. The black-eyed children remain one of the most disturbing mysteries of our time, entities that blur the line between myth and reality.